Tyler.
Marketing.
Welcome to the...
That's all I'm going to say today. Marketing. I'm just going to say marketing through the whole podcast.
You got to say it at different levels, like marketing.
I'm peaking.
You are. You're marketing.
That sounds terrible.
Could we
I'm
not
sorry.
save that?
Hold on.
Like,
I'm
serious.
taller than you think.
At the beginning, you got to do that.
I'm sorry. I should have done that before we started rolling. I can't even undo it now. My lady heads. No offense to the ladies.
The train is already off.
My little child hands that are not strong. I type. I don't fix stuff.
Yeah, I know. Soft hands.
Yeah, they're soft. Sometimes when I go to the gym a lot, they get a little bit rougher.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's another voice.
Who is that person we're talking to?
Who is this voice?
Jenny Merck is with us.
Oh, there she is.
In case you don't know, what's your title?
I'm a social media marketer.
Come closer.
Oh, I'm a social media marketer.
Social media marketer.
There. That's how you
Did we
find
spell your
her.
name right, Jenny?
Usually I
did,
spell people's names very incorrectly, and it's embarrassing, and then
You got it.
we'll put it to where people can see your handle and the names. We're good.
Perfect.
That's okay.
Take a screenshot of that. Put it in your phone. You're going to want to talk to Jenny after this podcast. Okay, Jenny,
Yes.
marketing. Here we go. I'm going to keep saying it. Marketing.
Well, with my last name, Merck and marketing, it's like I've always thought, how could I merge those two together? Marketing?
You should call
Like-
it marketing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a great idea. Okay.
I like it.
1,000-foot view. Tell us what you do.
She marketed.
I
She
markets.
markets.
No, yeah, I actually, so I'm a social media marketer
Okay.
here in the Fraser Valley. I started about 5 years ago, and I basically work with businesses to take who they are in person and put it online. And we build relationships. We look at unique and personal ways that we can basically show up who they are online.
Okay.
So that's what I say. Well, how would you be in person? How can we get that online? Authenticity is really important to me.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So here we are. We're looking at your social media feed right
Yeah,
now. So this is your brand.
Website.
That's your
Yeah,
website.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You always you rock the light tones. I like it.
Oh, thank you.
Rocking it. And we have like a lot in common. Like we both grew up in Langley.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a ton of mutual friends.
Yeah. I'm sure we looked on Facebook. You'd see.
We went to the same elementary school.
We did.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're
Are you
going
guys done? Jeez.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm just
this
kidding.
is really cool that when
so
you're
left
amongst people that you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us more. So I like that we were looking at your website. We were looking at your brand there. So you said that you do it for businesses, but you also have a bit of a dental background. Is that correct?
I do. Yes. Yeah. So when I was about 19 years old, I got into dental. I worked for a general office for a bit, and then I got right into working with an orthodontist. And that was a really great time in my career where she really invested in learning all things marketing for dental. And so I got to work with a lot of different, what's the word?
Like vendors or
Vendors, yes. No. A lot of different, starts with the C.
Consultants.
Oh, no. Consultants,
Consultants.
yes.
There we go.
Yeah. A lot of different
I
consultants.
win.
Yes.
Give me my $5. Yes.
And another letter C, conventions. Went to a lot of different
Conventions and
conventions.
consultants.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She really invested in that. And
Okay.
one of the biggest parts of that was actually traveling, which was super fun at that time of my life,
So
early
you
20s.
got to travel.
Yeah. She would actually send us on all sorts of trips to learn. So Seattle,
Can I
Phoenix.
work for this person?
I know. It was awesome. It was so
Where do
fun.
we sign up? Yeah.
Who is she?
Dr. Williams with South Surrey Smiles.
Okay, so Dr. What's her first name?
Leslie Williams.
Dr. Leslie Williams, South
Mhm.
Surrey Smiles. We're going to give her a free plug,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If we should.
Mhm.
Should we?
No, yeah. She's done ortho for my siblings. Like
Wait a minute.
she's a
Yeah.
very awesome orthodontist.
You still like her? You guys still get along?
Oh, yeah. We get along.
Okay.
Yeah.
So South Surrey Smiles, Dr. Leslie
Williams.
got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Carry on.
Yeah, so we would invest in these types of learnings throughout the year, probably about 3-4 times a year. We'd either go somewhere or someone would come to us. Karen Moad with Hummingbird Consultants. Have you ever heard of her?
Hummingbird. Yeah.
Right?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, she was awesome. She works with a lot of, she specializes in ortho, and she comes in and builds systems for growth and just, for the ongoing operations of the business as well. And
So she gets inside
yes.
and turns the wrench, right?
A very different marketing animal in between orthodontics and GP.
Yes.
Like a different.
Would you say that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that. How is it different?
Well, first of all, they work off of referrals, right?
Yes.
And so they really need to stand out amongst all the other competitors. And they're always looking for ways to have new patients come to them. It's a one-shot deal, right? It's like, okay, you come and get your ortho,
exactly.
and then they're done. Whereas with the general dentist, that's kind of a lifetime commitment if they're having, a good relationship with that dentist.
Demographics are different, all sorts of different things.
That's true. Yeah, too. Who their needs are, the age group, that kind of thing. So building relationships with also referring offices is really important. Also just being known in the community as being the best at your craft is very important. And also having a really slick experience when they come to the office, which was a big thing that she really worked with us on. So from the minute a patient walked into the door to the time that they left for their first visit we really analyzed how can we really make that the best experience possible. And then all of the follow-up after and when they come for their treatment and also after. So we really analyzed each part of those steps and where we can serve the patient best and also grow the business the best too.
So do you find that, are you still working with a number of dentists?
No, I'm not actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're kind of...
Well, you're
branching
saying
out,
you
right?
wanted to get out of dentistry where, this might be us dragging you back.
I know, right? Yeah.
Like, no,
We're
dental's
sorry.
not going to let you go.
We're sorry
obviously.
and you're welcome, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully dental is still something you're entertaining. But my question now is that and the reason I ask that is because it seems to me that the GP market, the GP practice now seems to have to market more like a specialist.
I've been out of the game for a while, so let me hear about this.
Well, I think that everything that you just described
Yeah.
is kind of like, if we're marketing a practice, we might drill into, pardon the pun, we might drill into Invisalign. We might say, I had a conversation last night with a client where I'm like, okay, I'm like, let's talk about what we want to market about you. Let's talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
And, his feedback was, look, I just want as many patients as I can get. I'm like, of course, every dentist does, but I'm like, we have to really get granular on the services that you provide.
Yeah.
So, next week we're going to start taking a closer look at the services he provides so we can provide so that we can really sort of pull out what he wants to do as a dentist.
Yes.
And I think, like Jenny, you touched on it, telling the genuine story.
Yes.
You're being yourself. And
Right.
that's sometimes people miss that. And it goes to this, the stock photos and what they think they should do rather than what they should be doing.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and there's this blanket of confidence that, if I was to be a dentist, I'd want people to know that whatever they came to me for, I'm a competent dentist and you can have confidence in the service I'm going to provide you. But at the same time, now here we are in a social media world where it's like, tell us about the journey.
Yes.
You know what? I'm a dentist I'm about to start doing implants.
Yeah.
Or I'm about to start doing ortho.
Yeah.
I'm about to expand my scope of practice.
Yeah.
Where do you start sharing that story with your patient base and also maintain a level of confidence with your patients to say, hey, I'm new to implants, but come with me on this journey.
Yeah.
I've got mentors around me. And this is why we rely so heavy on study clubs and mentorships in the dental community to say, this person might be new at implants.
Yeah.
They might be new to ortho. However, they're part of Dr. Fraj Edher's study club. They're part of Dr. Press Shaw's
mentors
study club.
are super
to say,
yeah.
even though they're new at this particular procedure, they've got someone who's placed 1,000 implants looking over their shoulder, making sure that you're getting the best treatment possible.
Yeah.
So that for me really kind of bypasses the whole, marketing yourself saying, I'm expanding my scope of practice. Come with me on this journey as I tell you my story about myself as a dentist, as I expand my scope of practice.
Yeah. And storytelling is exactly the word that I use. And having different pillars of content. For a dentist, I'd recommend educational content being a huge component of that, because just by talking about what you do and how you do it, you're not directly selling, but you're showing that you're the master of your craft. And so you can do education through talking about past cases, how it's done. So showing exactly how the process is done, how this is going to benefit them, what to expect, good and bad, being very authentic about it, being very non-salesy. It's like what you said about the graphics. Yeah. Unfortunately, I see a lot of businesses, and I've even seen some dental offices where they just take, Canva graphics, and it's very impersonable, and it's just
cookie cutter.
That's the word. Yeah, I do not do cookie cutter content. That's something that I really stray away from. Every client has their own individual strategy. And I basically say, like, just pretend it's like your own personal page and like, let's just get the content out there, right? It's just like, don't overthink it. Like, don't make this too businessy. So also sharing about what they're doing in their community to just really...
Yeah, that's huge. I was going to go there.
Community's big.
Yeah. And then it can also show off that they also are the master of what they do in that area as well, and that they care about, you know, the community that they're working in. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity, and TikTok is a really fun one. I think that a lot of people don't touch TikTok, and one of my clients, she grew her business so much just from TikTok. So
because you don't need followers to have success on TikTok, right?
No, yeah, people will follow you. They'll hit the plus button. It's like a psychological like switch that happens, and they're like, I want to follow this page. So you will get the followers just from having content that converts. But it's about obviously the views, the reach, also building content that's going to go to your target audience because of the algorithm. So you've probably seen on TikTok, like, man, I was just talking about that, or I was just right Googling that, or it's kind of creepy, right? Yeah. And then it just shows up on your For You page. So if you can think about, what is my client, you know, what are they thinking about? How can I show up on their For You page, right? Like,
sure.
Yeah.
How do you transcend there? How do you get there? 'Cause that's always like, what, you know, obviously the education piece, but does that, you know, are there folks out there that want to follow dentistry stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you can make
How do you make it sexy?
Right? Yeah. No, that's a really, really great question. And I think, again, what we were talking about, not making it too businessy. So one of the first things that I'll do is I'll get in there with the business and I'll really spend time getting to know them. And then I'm analyzing them, and I'm like, it's taken me some years to get to this point, but I'm at the point now where I can sit down with the business. And by the end of that time, I know exactly how we can market them and have them stand out on social media. But every business, it's not just one way, you know, the cookie cutter way. It's not kind of like, you know, there's not one way for everyone. You really want to look at that individual or that business and think, hey, they have this really like unique like standpoint. It could be something personal about them where they can, it's kind of taking two things and bringing it together. So for example, my dog Cooper, he has a TikTok page.
Of course.
So I'll just use him as an example.
Of course.
So
what kind of dog is he?
He's a Lab Retriever Collie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's all over my website.
What's okay? Wow.
I gotta do my homework on your stuff. I was like, I just saw your page and your feed, and I was like,
what's so cool. Where's Cooper?
Confident Cooper.
I love it.
Yeah. So near the end, I was kind of posting about him and my grandma. But and also I haven't been actively posting to his page, but I like to use him as an example. So he's a dog that's reactive. Do you know what that means at all?
You know, I should, considering my dad's a veterinarian.
Oh, yeah. Your dad would know this word. Okay. So basically, he had, how do I say, like other dogs scare him, essentially. Oh, okay. And so he needed really special training. I adopted him, and I spent a couple of years really learning how to get him to a place where he could confidently go out.
I think my dog's reactive on an affectionate side.
Cooper here.
This is Cooper. Yeah.
So your dog's reactive, as in like he's a little bit scared of other dogs. My dog is like he sees other dogs and he's reactive. Like I gotta go spend some time with that dog now.
He's like I'm insecure, and he kind of barks and growls and lunges, but he's not going to actually do anything. But it's just like it's hard to. But he doesn't do that anymore.
He's like,
except on training.
Is that the like all talk, no bite?
Exactly. Yeah. He's a sweetheart, but it's very. So anyway, so I worked with various trainers. I haven't actively been posting to his page, so it's an example in that what I'm talking about is So it's not just a dog account. It's a dog account that was providing training, but then training for reactive dogs.
Nice.
And so I think
very niche.
Yes. And so I think it's very important to find that niche in your business. And then that's really what really makes your content fly. Is like I also worked with a trauma coach. And so she's a coach, but she specializes in trauma. So it's a dentist, but what's going to be the thing that makes them unique and special? Because they can't just be a dentist on there. It's like, what's going to be that other point that makes them unique and special? And like, so if there's maybe something like, say they really want to be known about implants, right? Then we can focus in and make a majority of their content maybe about implants. But then people like to watch, like, you can take it from there, and then you're like, okay, do we want to see how they're made? Because, you know, you've probably caught yourself watching those videos, right? Where you're like, how did I just spend like 2 minutes watching this video? Yeah, it's right?
Like 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Like, you know, it's, and then you sit back.
I should probably go to sleep.
It's like 12:30 and you're like, oh, how did I get here? Like, what did I originally look at?
Yeah, so there's like different filming techniques and whatnot. You can choose different ways of capturing the content. That's just one where you really show like kind of like that like satisfying like before and after, or like the process. If they're really great on camera, or we can coach them to get really great on camera, them talking on camera. Some people will really connect with with our audience that way. But yeah, it's really just finding that niche. That niche, like this and this type of thing.
What's your I always call it the what's the proprietary. Now I'm blanking on.
I like this song. I know, right? It's hard. It's like
while
the letter.
Tyler
What letter
tries
does
to
it start
come
with?
up with the word that he's thinking of, it's basically proprietary property.
How do I get there?
Well, it's what is proprietary about what you do, right? What is like not you? I'm just saying like in general.
Okay.
When we're talking to a dentist or we're talking to a business, it's going back to the niche, right? Niche is the same word.
Yes.
Where it's like I'm going back to that conversation. I'm kind of regurgitating what you just said.
Yeah.
In the practical sense, where I'm like, okay, doc, so here we are. You're about to pay me money to market you.
Yes.
The first thing I'm going to ask
Market you.
Market.
I'm going to market you.
Yeah.
And the first thing I want to know is I want you to tell me what's proprietary about you. What's your what's unique about you? And they're like, well, I'm a dentist and I want more patients than I do general dentistry.
So that's not very unique.
It's not unique. So we're going
to,
again, so I already mentioned this, we're going to go into this next week. And we do this a lot of times, and I'm sure you do it on the daily, where it's like, okay, that's cool. And I find that I struggle with it as well, where I'm like, okay, what's my niche?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing that's interesting? And we talked about this with Britt last week.
I think it like encourages everyone to sort of just be themselves.
It's the hard question.
Like I think everybody has their own unique finger footprint.
Yeah.
I think so. And I think
I can't think of it now. Fingerprint.
Yeah, no,
Fingerprint.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
intellectual property. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Of the IP. Mm-hmm. So what, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what's my IP? What am I doing? If I was to build my own brand under Tyler McClendon, what am I known for?
I know.
What's my niche?
I know.
Okay, go. Yeah, I'm going to regret asking this question.
What is it?
Go ahead.
Well, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Okay.
Say it.
Everyone knows.
Are you going to share it with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a movie guy.
I was going to say that too. Yeah.
Movie star. You're like the.
I'm not a movie star.
Yeah, you are.
I've been in a few movies.
To me, you are. You're a movie
Am I the
star.
most famous person you know?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Just teed it up for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like what is
said,
your own personal brand? And I think from that, it shows what the patient experience. I think that's where we want to get to. Somebody that's deciding whatever business that they're wanting to choose. And, obviously they use reviews as well. That's another major one. Mm-hmm. But people are already making the decision whether they like you or dislike you before they even like are face to face with you anymore.
Yeah.
Like if I was to sit down.
Social, yeah.
And that goes for a lot of things.
Yeah. And I can envision a conversation if I say, okay, Jenny, help me market my brand.
Yeah.
I can envision you ask me, okay, well, let's dive into who you are as a person. Let's find your niche.
Yes.
And then it'll force me. That's the hard question.
I know what she does. She does marketing.
She does marketing. Sorry. It'll force me as a business person to say, what's my niche? What am I good at? What can I do? And then it starts making me recollect, I remember this one particular dentist who was like, you know what? He's like, I like what you're doing with Dentist on Demand. He's like, but you should have a separate course within Dentist on Demand that teaches dentists how to speak in front of the camera.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be well
that
suited
would be my
for
niche.
Yeah, that's very good. I love that because people will pay for something like that, or they will invest in something like that. Because
I've run an acting class before.
Yeah,
right? So it's not. I mean, yes, you're not.
Why
acting.
Why are we not doing this?
We should be doing more of it. Well, we do it when we go and shoot videos for our clients. I'm like,
your answer is we don't have time, Mark.
I'm like, we don't have time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
Especially the generation that isn't used to having a smartphone in their hands, right? Because there's a certain demographic that is quite camera shy, and even the younger ones can be too. But yeah, it's true. Yeah. So it just but you have an Android, so.
Alex is over here making. We should have a camera angle on Alex.
No, we should not.
No,
just kidding.
Camera shy.
But we're talking about being camera shy. It's an interesting time to be camera shy in this day and age where everybody's.
You have to get your face out there.
Yeah. Well, and I say that when we shoot videos for our clients, when someone signs up for a Dentist on Demand profile, one of the first things we do is we go and we get some footage of the practice. Yeah. And based on their comfort level, right, 9 times out of 10, we'll get something on camera of them speaking. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, it's one thing to sell the practice to your patient base. Mm-hmm. It's a whole other thing for them to see you
and video
speaking
if you can get video, like for paid advertisement, video just performs so much better.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I always say a face as much as you can, even in a thumbnail, like in the content, everything. Like, so one of my clients is a realtor, and then I also have a farm market nursery, or just a few, but I actually have a face that represents each business.
That's great.
Yeah. And even the thumbnails, like, some people would choose more of the aesthetic, like perfectly plated dish.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually say, let's try to get somebody in the shot, or even like just a hand, or like some sort of movement if we can.
It's always Cooper, isn't it?
Yeah, Cooper. Yeah.
Cooper, you ate all the food. What's going on?
Yeah.
He should come to those shoots. That'd be fun.
He should be here. We should put him right in next time.
He should have come. Yeah,
but that's part of your story.
Yeah. He would have been scared of your dog though on the way in.
Yeah, Max can scare people.
Okay. He's a big,
but Max is just a big teddy bear.
He's once he's in here, he would have been good. He actually he would have sat here. He's a very good dog that way.
Is he? Yeah.
Next time.
Max is pretty chill too.
Next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone comes to you as a client. What's the process for you? Are you building websites? Are you doing, or is it all just mostly social media?
Social. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also email newsletters, because I really think that that's the thing, depending on the business, that can really make the final sale.
Sure.
So it's like all those different touch points. And now they just got, they've seen some of the content on social media leading up to receiving that email newsletter. And then they see it again. And then they're like, oh, I can click and buy. Or, oh, it's like they have all the information they kind of need. And that's where you can be really salesy, is in an email newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
But where for social, it's kind of more of that warm up type of content.
Yeah, there's different. Yeah.
So those two avenues. I have helped businesses with their websites, though. I'll work with other businesses to do that, like Steigen Media. Adwin, he's someone I've worked with for years, and he actually did Leslie's website, Salsary Smiles. He's been awesome. But I specialize in social media.
Social, yeah. So when you, like you said, so if you're like, okay, I'm gonna take on as a client, however, your website's a disaster.
Oh yeah, that's part of the discovery process.
Okay.
So a client does have to be at a certain point to be able for social to actually even work, because they're gonna, their different digital profiles are gonna be representing them, right? And so if we're gonna have this amazing social media page, but your website's not going to be representational of that, then we need to work on that.
It's called a traffic funnel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And their Google My Business page is huge. And there's so much, like that's actually another thing that's kind of tied into social. But I also do an audit of that. And then I make sure that we're consistently adding to that. And also it's set up in the best way for that business to be able to.
So you add to their social so that their Google?
The Google My Business. Yeah, depending on the business. Some of them will do that in-house. It just depends on also, each client is unique and different, right? So each client has a different team with different levels of like, someone's like, oh yeah, I can do that. And then they're like, oh, can you do that? So then we'll kind of craft a package that works for them.
So fully customized.
It really is. Yeah. So there is a base rate. And then that's kind of how I vet out if it's going to be a fit or not. And then from there, we'll sit down and I'll sit down with them for a couple of hours and we have a really good conversation. And then from there, I present what would be best for them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We kind of do that too.
Kind of slam dunk.
I know she slammed it.
She's social.
I would suggest she mic drops, but don't do that. It's my mic.
It's super loud when you do that. Okay, so we have, for example, a lot of clients who, the way we're structured is you have a microsite or you have a listing on Dentist on Demand.
Yeah.
We run the analytics. So because we're dental geeks, we run the analytics. So we show them, here's what your practice is currently doing.
Yeah. So we actually take the data from in the practice management software to sort of give us a baseline of where the opportunities are.
Yeah.
And what we do is we'll take that data set and then we'll take like an SEO analysis.
Yeah.
So we'll look at those two data sets and we'll say, based on that information, we'll prescribe what we think is a good customer.
Yeah, you need some marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah. So we'll prescribe. Yes. We'll come up with a diagnosis, and then we'll prescribe something that we think is going to be a good fit for the practice. Yeah. And as we know, with marketing, it's you throw it at the wall, hopefully it sticks. Whatever sticks, you go with that, right? Mm-hmm. You try 3 or 4 different things, maybe 5 or 6. Whatever's hitting, you double down in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, when we build those plans, social media is part of that plan.
Yeah.
And we kind of work with 1 or 2 social media folks around town, but we don't do a ton of social. And that's kind of, I think, why we wanted to have you on the show today.
Yeah.
Is this like an interview that I didn't know was happening?
Yeah,
no,
exactly. So if you can fill out this question there.
We're going to get some marketing ourselves.
Please give us your SIN number.
Yeah.
But we think that we've got...
You're hired.
We do search, we do the analytics. we really go after the website stuff. We make sure the foundation is there, but it's the soft skills, it's the high touch stuff that you're doing that we really kind of partner with people like you to say, you know what, Jenny, this is her forte. We really
we triage. We triage their strategy.
Triage. Wow, this is a great play on words episode.
It's getting really dental.
From triaging, we prescribe we diagnose.
Are we dispensing
the treatment plan?
Yeah.
Are you getting this? We're talking to our audience right now. See how we did that?
Became very clinical all of a sudden.
Oh wait, no.
We triage the dentist to the correct person who are like, hey, you know what? Jenny's really good at this.
You need this specialist.
You need this specialist in your corner.
You need some marketing.
You're getting good at this.
We're going to prescribe some marketing for you today.
Yeah, during that 2-hour session, the reason it is a little bit longer is because I do take the first portion of that and present some of my own research I've done ahead of time with their current social presence. And then I'll show them what I've done with my clients, and then I'll kind of show them this is where you could be and your potential and where you're missing. And then as I'm talking to them and, we're chatting about different things, my gears are turning and I'm starting to think about, ways that they'll really stand out amongst their competitors.
That's your fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole creative part of that strategy is so much fun.
Let me put a plan together for you. So what about content? Do you create the content?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So you'll do like photos, video, blogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Okay. So yeah, if you're going to get like, I specialize more in the video. I will hire photographers depending on the niche. And so for dental, I would probably hire a photographer, and I'd want to I'm all about efficiency too, because everybody's time is very important. And so I'll have a photographer do photos, but then I really want to get their personality on the video. And so we will strategize video shoots, and then I'll come in and we'll just fire off all the content. But then there's some clients like, for example, the nursery and the farm market where they have product that comes and goes all the time. And so they're more of we're getting together like almost every week to shoot content because
there's a lot of turnover.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, it's Easter. Oh, it's this.
Seasonal stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We were just down at Man Farms and we did an interview.
Oh, yeah. It's a great little place. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And they're growing strawberries in a greenhouse. So we had to show off how cool that is and that we're one of their main retailers. And so we had our produce specialist interviewing with the farmer there, and we got to show like up close, this is the products that's coming before May. But so I'm there with them, making sure that their content is coming out in a timely manner. But someone like dental, we could really, I'm a big planner. Like one of my main roles with Leslie was a scheduling coordinator. Okay. And so I really like to have everything, efficient, let's do this then so that we're not going to look at that later. You know what I mean? So yeah, so with a dentist, we could definitely pre-plan content so that you're doing like monthly or quarterly even shoots, and everybody's time is used efficiently.
And we know when someone's coming in. The one thing I find in a dental office is that like when you say, hey, we're coming in with our cameras on Monday, they're like, no, you're not.
I know, you have to really prepare them.
You really gotta.
They gotta have their hair and their lipstick.
There's 2 or 3 that are like,
yeah, I know.
But I think that one of the things that we do when we come in and shoot, so we'll do it like I said, when someone has a profile, we'll actually come in and shoot a video. So we're not really cannibalizing each other's business because yours is separate from what we're doing. Yeah. But when we do, we try the challenge for us. I find you might be like great at this, where it's like, hey, we're coming in to shoot Monday, and we get the panic, and where they're like, I'm not comfortable with this. It's not cool. It's like. I think part of that conversation is saying, no, we're going to have cameras with us. Yeah, we're just going to come in and chat with you guys.
And then, Tyler, what happens? At the end, they're like, oh my God, that was so much fun.
You guys are leaving?
Yeah.
What are we leaving?
I know. They actually start looking forward to it. Hey?
It's hilarious.
No, they really do.
Every time.
They're
nervous.
Time.
By the time we're done, I look at Mark and I'm like, hey, are we good? And Mark's like, I got more than we need. And they're like, we're just getting into it.
Yeah.
It's like, we got lots.
I'll see you next Friday.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I have a background in film and TV. I know when we have. Okay, we're just going to edit that out. I don't have a background in film and TV. I know a lot of people in film and TV, and they tell me that when you've got it. Welcome to my life. When you've got it.
Yeah.
Right? So when we shoot, it's so funny because we're so, and you probably do this too, when you shoot, you're so expedient about it because you're like, I know we've got it now.
Yeah.
Do you want to shoot anything else? And of course they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You should.
We know we have what we want.
Yeah.
And now we're just being redundant.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my clients called me a drill sergeant. We did a meet the team video, and she was thinking of different names, unique names, rather than just social media manager. She's like, drill sergeant. Because I will, like, after working, I'll warm up to the drill sergeant role. But after a while, I'll just be like, no, yes, like, like, we got to reshoot that. Like, need you here. Like, it's like I'm looking at all those aspects of like the angles, how you're saying, the hook. Like,
you're crafting the story in your head.
Exactly. So, yeah. And so sometimes it's funny, like, like Laurel, who I work with at Arts, sometimes we've been working together for years. You've probably seen her videos, actually. She has like white hair. She represents Arts Nursery.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen her on social media at all yet.
Maybe.
I feel like if you see her, you'll know, because she gets apparently stopped everywhere she goes now. So
like, you're the Arts Nursery girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like, oh, Arts Nursery. Like,
I know we spend a lot of money at Arts Nursery.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There she is there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I've seen her in person.
She did a naked gardening video, actually. She
really?
was. It was a fun one. Yeah.
So did I.
Oh yeah. Well, it got like actually that weekend. Then people came in. It was one of their most busiest weekends after that video, and they have, where's Laurel? Like
the naked gardener.
Oh really? Yeah. Where's the naked gardener? No, but they loved it because it was so funny, like entertaining. But sorry, I went on a tangent here. Where was I going?
No, that's what we do here.
Oh,
that's why we're here.
So she just knows my personality so well, and we can get out so much video now because we just get in there, we know what the plan is, and what used to take us, double the time, we can get it in half the time. So I do work up to that point. It's about a 9-month, I would say, I've kind of seen working with clients where you build towards this relationship where you're just in a groove and and we're like, hey, this is what we're doing, like, let's do it. But
she's
also
great on camera too.
Is it who?
She's great on camera.
Laurel?
Yeah.
No, she's awesome.
I was scrolling
she's
through while
so
we were talking.
Awesome. Yeah, you'll have to. I feel like you should. I should have had it prepared, maybe, but that naked gardening video is a good one. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And we also had one go really viral where she did a craft about one of our niches on TikTok is or our niche on TikTok is the environment. So it's gardening, but gardening for the environment. And so we did. This video got like 10 million views.
Really?
And then it got like about 10 million views on YouTube. Like, I forget how much it got on Instagram and Facebook, but it went so viral.
So gardening for the environment, like tell us about that.
Attracting pollinators to your garden is one of them. Like, how can we help the environment and stay sustainable and not hurt what's around us through gardening? And so people are really into that right now, right? Well, not right now, but they want to know, right? They want to know what I can do differently, like what should I do with my soil? Even something like in the fall, you think that you're supposed to rake up your leaves and clean up your garden, but she actually says leave some of that out because a lot of the insects, the beneficial insects, are burrowing in there and they're sleeping, and so you don't want to. So all those type of things.
I'm really good at not raking up my leaves.
There you go. So you're helping the environment.
If you look at my backyard,
yeah,
you'll see there's leaves that are still there from the fall.
Yeah,
I'm quite proud of that accomplishment.
Yeah, there you go.
What happens is if you don't get them up in time, the snow falls.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, there goes the leaves.
Yeah.
How do we save the bees?
The bees. Well, mason bees is one of them. And there's a mason bee expert going to be at Arts Nursery tomorrow, actually. So you can actually...
Let's plug him. This is great.
You know what? Dennis Popowich is his name, but I think he's an elderly gentleman who I don't think he really has like a business presence. It's more something he's really passionate about.
We call them elder statesmen.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. But anyways, he's going to be at Arts and he's just there. People can drop in and ask questions about the mason bees, but you can actually have your own little bee home. They're non-aggressive, so they're not going to sting, and you can have your own little colony of bees. And this is the weirdest thing. You actually buy a box of bees, like when they're...
How do they breathe?
Okay, can you bring up their social again? Because it's actually this video did really well.
Is this on Arts?
Yeah, the Arts one.
Keep talking. I'll bring it.
Yeah, and go to Reels, and it shows the little bees in little cocoons.
Oh, wow.
And she shows the process. So you buy the cocoons.
When they're larvae?
Yeah, and then you put them outside, and then they slowly wake up, and then you attract them to the house. And so now you have your own little colony of non-aggressive bees, and it's helping with the pollination.
That is so cool.
It's really cool. People love that.
What happens when a wasp comes in and starts kicking ass on the bees?
You know what? That's a good question. I hope they don't do that.
Like, I'd be the guy in the backyard being like, "Get the hell out of it! Leave my bees alone!"
Right?
You son of a bee.
Because I think we've all become so protective over bees now.
Where am I going?
Sorry, go. It's more recent than that. Okay, so it's gonna be. Oh, there she is. Or mason bees have arrived. See,
right?
Yeah, by the fridge, because she's by the fridge with the bees.
There it is.
Oh, here we are.
Yeah, look, it almost got 20,000 views. This video.
That's amazing.
Oh, she's answering them. Sorry, the other one. Sorry.
So mason bees, are these like
that one down there? Mason. Yeah, that one.
The bees. They've arrived.
Do they control the economy, and do they have all the underground secrets?
I bet they do.
Is there a Chamberlain or a Fairchild? related to one of these people?
Apparently they're solitary bees. But look at 163 people sent it to someone.
Okay.
Yeah. No, people were all over this because they feel that they're giving back in a way to the environment. Someone actually said that. It's like you can go to the grocery store and just buy yourself bees out of the fridge.
Cool.
But, yeah, and there's the house. Yeah. And then they and the reason they're called masons is because they're like masonaries. So they they
build walls.
Yeah. They build their own little home in those little tubes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she explains that. So you can
So they don't control the economy though.
Maybe they do. Yeah.
Now I could see why
It's a
you
bad
want,
Mason
I
joke.
see. I see why you wanted.
Oh, that why.
I see why you wanted to get out of dentistry. This is way more.
Right?
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm joking. No, yeah. Yeah. No.
Oh man, we're stuck in dentistry. You guys are playing with bees.
You guys got bees and stuff.
But what if you had a dentist who had a little backyard in there?
Exactly.
Somewhere in their practice,
Yeah.
and like, hey,
What about
I have
having
like a little mason?
having
bee thing.
a bee thing in each operatory?
Okay,
Oh.
so this is super cool because I have like a
Terrible
little backyard over here.
They probably die
I
inside.
want to get one of those things and put it in the backyard.
Yeah.
And my wife's folks live on the bottom floor of
Okay.
our house.
Yeah.
And
Go to Arts
they
Nursery,
would
man.
they would love that.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good gift.
It's a
You
great
just got to make
gift.
sure you keep it in the fridge before you give it to them where the bees are going to wake
Oh,
up.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very unique product.
I think I'll need my wife to come with me on that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Just follow the
Yeah,
instructions.
go to the talk tomorrow. There's going to be ice cream there too.
What?
Yeah, they have
Darn it, I'm going.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot of good things happening over there.
And that's at Arts tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah, Arts Nursery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's your plug, Arts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I don't give you enough money as it is. I'm just kidding. They're fantastic there. So
Yeah.
big plug for them.
Yeah.
This is great. We could talk for hours.
Yeah.
This is super fun. How do people reach you, Jenny?
Various ways, but on my website it says there's like different buttons to get in touch with me, but they can email me. They can DM me on Instagram.
Do we have her handle up on the screen here?
We can handle that. Yep.
Let's handle Jenny's handle.
Jenny's.
It's just Jenny
Up
Merck.
on the screen.
Yeah,
Jenny Merck
Jenny Merck.
There it is.
for marketing your
Yeah.
all your marketing needs.
We're going to
Yeah.
call you the dental marketer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, social. Man, oh man, your brand is really good.
Oh,
I
thank
haven't,
Oh, you went swimming.
I did. That was in Hawaii. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And there's
You're
Cooper.
lucky. Oh, what? Oh,
See,
there he is.
There he is. There he is. And I have a special look at that bike.
Is he?
He has a little trailer hitch on that bike.
Oh.
Yeah, my
Oh, look at
parents-
you. You're doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm promoting myself.
You're
Little self promotion there.
Oh, but Cooper got in there.
How old is Cooper?
You're marketing.
He's
Live
5.
marketing.
He's 5?
Yeah, he's
Oh
5.
wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
he's
had him a few
he's not a
years.
young pup.
no.
Okay. Max will be 2 in July.
Aw.
No, May.
Oh,
May.
what's his birthday day?
May 23rd.
Oh, mine's May
Yeah.
7th, so I thought maybe we'd have the same birthday.
Twinsies.
Yeah.
Sorry. I can't remember. I can't believe I remembered his birthday.
He's a
That's
Gemini though,
impressive.
so.
His birthday is 4 days
Oh,
before
yeah.
mine.
Oh.
I'm a Gemini and a
Oh.
twin,
Oh,
so there's 4 of me.
wow. Okay. Yeah. Steer clear. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's right.
Now
She's
Gemini.
been with me for 20 some odd years, so she's
Nailed
like,
it.
"Don't worry, I got this guy handled.
yeah. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
got me figured out."
One last question.
Yeah.
We haven't asked this one in a while. It's been a while
Oh, I like this
because
question.
I just keep
I
looking this
know
way.
what question this is
You know
gonna
what I'm going to ask, aren't you? Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Sorry. It's a good question.
It is a good question. Is that why there's a hot dog?
There's a hot
behind
dog
you?
right behind you.
Yeah. We used to ask it all the time.
You can look at the
I like
you can
that.
look at the drawing behind you and contemplate.
I mean, no.
It's not.
No.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you.
There's
Yeah.
no right
Not
or
a
wrong
sandwich.
answer.
Yeah.
And with that note, anything else?
No.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think
We
that's
got
it.
your handle,
Are we just going to get
Got you a-
all quiet?
all your hashtags and @ signs and everything all plugged in.
Oh, thank
Alright.
you. Yeah.
Hashtag it up.
No,